There are two parts, again, to effective leadership. One is the part that the leader does, but the other is there a response to that, a positive, affirmative response to that leader from those that are working under him or her. And it's important to foster then an environment, a culture in which you elicit that appropriate response. It's not enough to do the right things. It's important that the people you're leading do the right things. And that means establishing a culture and an expectation. It means supporting them. It means pushing them. It means protecting them when they've made mistakes, but at the same time you're pushing them to be better and not make those mistakes, and to grow and to learn, and say, without that cycle, right, what you do and then what comes back, then that leadership engine doesn't function if it's all one directional. The other thing about a leadership overview is I think the best book you'll ever see on leadership is to open your eyes and look at all the people around you that are exercising leadership in whatever capacity. Look for the things that people do good and learn from it and emulate it, and look at the examples where people are doing things that are ineffective and learn from that. If you've ever worked for an ineffective manager, supervisor, or leader, remember how you felt about that, and commit that to the best of your ability, your people are not going to feel that way about you. And use that to motivate yourself to make that cycle. You can't please all your people all the time. It's impossible. But it matters, though, that feedback loop. And so just because there is a loop doesn't mean that you're dictated by the least common denominator, or the leadership's not by consensus. It's not by making most people happy. But if everybody that works under you is unhappy, that probably should be a lesson. Because if people are doing something productive, even if it's demanding, even if it's challenging, even if it takes a lot of effort to do that, if they're doing something productive and rewarding, they'll respond to that. The majority of folks will. And if you're in an environment where nobody's responding to that, then you need to start at the top and work your way down. What do I need to change, both procedurally, systematically, personally, to affect that change so that I can demand a lot, but it's in a way that people want to do well. People want to do well if they have the opportunity to do that. Some need a little help. Some, all you have to do is get out of their way. But you need to figure out what that is and establish that environment. And then the other thing about leadership overview is it is never static. It is constantly changing. The challenges you face today are different than tomorrow, than yesterday. Scratch that. The challenges that you face today are different than yesterday, and the ones you'll see tomorrow are different from what you're facing today. The people you're dealing with next year are different from this year, and they're certainly different than when we all started, right? Everything changes. Leadership cannot, the techniques and tactics of leadership cannot remain static. You have to continually evaluate yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Are we effective? If we're not, what do I need to do about it? Is it something I need to change? Do I need to make a change in the organization, in process or procedure? The core values of leadership never change, but the practice of leadership must change in response to the environment that you're in.